take something and then you shift it and then it comes out unrecognizable from the other way. I mean, nobody's very few people just live in the woods and hear just a babbling brook all day, and in some ways it's useful and a privilege to be able to hear so much music
Right.
almost at all times. And yes, of course, it can also interfere with your inner voice. You know, I think you need both. I think you need a balance. I think you need some way of trying to still everything and start to hear what is in here. But hey, you know, a lot of great songs got created by somebody taking a little snippet of other songs. You know, it is the folk process.
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's all
And then there's
it's all borrowed and given, and a little piece of this and a little piece of that, and we can't ignore it. One, and in a way we'd be fools to try to completely ignore it. And yes, you have to still everything around you too.
Also, I just reflecting on our conversation yesterday during dinner. Um, it it's true. As I think, if you don't write songs and then you come to something like this, you feel a lot of pressure because it's something you don't do often. You want to make it. You're like, oh man, it's got to be the right thing, but it's just like a muscle. So just write and
Yeah.
just get it down. And so when you do find something or a good vein to explore, you kind of have some muscles built up.
You got to turn off the judge a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, or a lot bit. I mean, it's like dancing. If you're if you know, try to dance where you're also like criticizing the way you dance, it really gets in the way. Yeah, it's a muscle. Just exercise can be exercise like anything. It's not that mystical or mysterious. Maybe some part of it is, but you know, where you get that great line that you can't even believe and was so perfect and rhymed, you know, that stuff feels like it's always going to feel like that stuff came from the gods, you know. But the nuts and bolts of it, again, it's like you're not going to be who's that guy that built all those incredible homes in the Midwest in Chicago? Frank Lloyd Wright. I mean, you're not gonna, your first house that you build,
Right.
you know, you're building a deck, and if you're worried about being Frank Lloyd Wright and being this great artist of the thing, you're never gonna learn how to pound a nail, let alone, you know, and it's that, I think. It's, don't get hung up. We're doing great stuff here. Everybody's done some incredible things with just a few little elements, you know, and start to recognize those and create your own, and the stuff will flow. Okay, here's a little exercise. Start, and you're not going to actually do this now, but next time you sit down with an instrument or not, start with a little free writing thing, about a minute, about a specific person in your life. And you got some strong emotional attachment to that person, be it your mom or your dad or your son or your daughter or a girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, friend, enemy, some specific person. Let yourself go a little bit there, and then turn that person into a specific natural force or entity. The ocean, a river, the sky, trees, a particular tree, a road, something like that. And write the verse about the road or the tree or whatever, and stick with that. Hold on to, if the ocean, the ocean and your relation to the ocean and it's to you and all that, all the while holding in mind your person from the first free writing bit. And just see what happens if you're writing about one thing while writing about another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright? That's verse 1. The second verse, and keep yourself outside of it. Just describe the thing itself, what it's doing, how it's acting. It could be jealous. It could be that jealous ocean that has caused you pain and suffering, and now as the sun is starting to cast longer shadows on it, it's behaving more and more like a spoiled little... Okay, you get the idea. Stay with the body itself. The second verse, you enter the picture. You enter the picture. There's a relationship between you and this entity.
Oh, okay. That was
All right.
the first verse.
First verse was just the thing alone.
Okay.
The second verse is you and the thing.
You and
The chorus, we're going to drop the curtain, drop the veil, and without giving away any equal signs, without saying the ocean that I'm talking about is actually my mother, we'll just shift and we'll address that person directly. Suddenly you're talking to that person.
In the chorus.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful. Just for the hell of it, an experiment in randomness, okay? Third verse, gotta bring the third verse home. Remember the little homework assignment of those overheard comments, quotes, little things? Let that be the bulk of what the third verse is. It's just somebody speaking. We don't know, it might be the ocean or whatever we're using. It could be that speaking. It could be the mother speaking back, or whoever the person is. It could be the answer from the chorus. It could be the singer. You'll find out. And then come back to the chorus after that third verse. The first verse is, we'll call it the ocean. Could be any number of those things. The ocean, how it looks, how it exists. Second verse is your part of the picture. My boat is cascading down from town to town. I've docked in Shalashaw, and I need to find a place for the night. Something like that. Something where you enter the picture. Chorus is you're talking directly to the person, right? And then the last verse is those eavesdropped, some of those lines, and then back to the chorus. See what happens. It might be perfect. You might go, wow, this is the coolest song I've ever written. You might go, yeah, that didn't really work with that third verse assignment, but I like everything else, so I'll just go here. Remember, in the world of mules and songwriters, there are no rules, but here's another way into your next song. Alright? All right.